many countries in the world that have undeveloped economies, and there are millions of people living in these countries in absolute grinding poverty, where they never know when the next meal is coming or whether they will have a roof over their heads or any water to collect. They do say that if you give a man a fish, his family will eat for the day, but if you give him a rod, his family will eat every day. There is an organisation here in the UK that puts that idea into very real practice, and they are Tools for Self-Reliance. The charity has its headquarters in Hampshire, but it also has a number of feeder groups that help to pass equipment to them. We're at the feeder group in Sutton, South London, and here they receive all sorts of hand tools, such as hammers and screwdrivers and chisels and spanners and vices, that are reconditioned here so that they're as good as new in practice. Obviously they still look old, but they're as good as new in practice, ready to be sent on to the headquarters in Hampshire, who will then transport them to African countries where they're given to recipients who can then have a training course in how to use this equipment and enable them to create work and to make an income, to raise their family out of the abysmal poverty and to give them hope and dignity for the future. One of the other things they do at Sutton is that they take in sewing machines, old sewing machines, and these come in all sorts of conditions. Most of them we can refurbish. We clean them up, replace broken parts, reset them all, oil it all up, clean it, ready to go to the Tools for Self-Reliance's headquarters and onward journey to Africa, where the recipients there similarly are given a comprehensive training course on how to use these machines, but also how to maintain them, and it gives them, those recipients, a chance to earn a living for themselves and to gain dignity and hope for the future. Let's go inside and see how these machines are treated. We start with taking the box, this is a fairly standard box. It's an arch-topped plywood box, typical from the Singer sewing machine company from 1920s, 30s, 40s. The top is secured to the bottom with a lock, which we can take apart like this. The first thing we do is clean out all the fluff and the mess that comes in the box, and then we check it for woodworm. If it's got any woodworm, we discard it. We just don't touch it. If there's no woodworm, then we'll check all the screws and the handles, clean up the handles, the hinges for the actual machine, the lock places, we'll clean them up, get it all tidy, make the outside look nice and neat so that the recipient will think it's a nice thing to have, and we'd love to keep that and work with it. Once we've sorted the box out, the next thing is to look at the machine itself. This is an absolutely standard sort of machine that we look after. They are these old Singer sewing machines from the 20s, 30s, 40s. And the first thing we do is we take off the winding handle here and check that out, that it all works nicely. And then the balance wheel comes off and check that that's all working nicely. Once we've done that, then there are various little mechanisms around the whole thing that we need to look at. One of them is the bobbin winder, to make sure that winds bobbins, works freely, winds bobbins properly and evenly, and releases when they're full. Then we oil in all these holes along the top that keeps the main shaft moving sweetly, which turns everything here at the head. While we're over here, there's the stitch length mechanism, which we need to make sure is easy enough to turn but firm enough not to change during the work. We come to the head. We need to slacken one screw there, take off the thumb screw, and the head comes out. You can see there's lot of fluff in there, and we need to clean all that fluff out and check and reset how the needle works, the needle shaft working, check that that's timing is correct, and the presser foot. Once all that is done, then we look underneath here where the bobbin is. There's a lot of fluff in there. We take that out, we reset all of the components in there so that they all work sweetly. We then move underneath, and we can see here underneath we've got all the mechanism for moving threading the bobbin, moving the bobbin around to thread that, and also the feed dog mechanism has to be all cleaned, reset, make sure it's working nicely. Once all that is gone, we smarten up the appearance, make it look nice to use again, put it back in the box, fill out the paperwork, and it's ready to go back to go on to the Tools for Self-Reliance headquarters in Hampshire. Now that you've seen how a sewing machine starts its new life, why not look at the Tools for Self-Reliance main website, which are the details below here.